Sydney is once more the centre of the badminton universe as the Australian Open heads into the weekend. For those who have made the trip for this tournament, the city has certainly turned on the charm. It's close to the middle of winter down under, but the sun is shining on the glittering harbour and the iconic landmarks provide the perfect backdrop for a Sydney Saturday. Well, it might be cool outside, but the heat is certainly on at Sydney Olympic Park, where it's semi-finals time at the State Sports Centre. Who will succeed and progress to the final day of the Australian Open Badminton for 2017? Let's find out and join our commentators, Steen Pedersen and Jill Clark.
Yes, hello and a very warm welcome to the State Sports Centre for semi-finals day at the Crown Group Australian Open. This is the fourth consecutive year this event has been part of the Super Series, the elite tier of tournaments in the sport of badminton. 12 tournaments that span the globe, and this event here in Sydney is the sixth event on the MetLife BWF World Superseries for 2017. Not only the 12 events, but for the top 8 players and pairs in each of the 5 disciplines. There's also the end-of-year finale, the Super Series finals, and the destination, once again, is Dubai. Well, it's semi-finals day today, as I say, and we're starting with men's singles, and Srikanth Kidambi, winner last week in Indonesia, trying to reach a third consecutive Super Series tournament final. He's up against the number 4 seed, Shi Yuqi of China. Then it's mixed doubles and a second consecutive semi-final here in Sydney for Praveen Jordan and Debbie Susanto. They're up against the new Korean pair of Kim Duk-young and Kim Ha-na. Then it's women's singles, and the world number 1, Tai Tzu-ying, is trying to reach a 4th Super Series final in only her 5th Super Series event this year. She's up against Akane Yamaguchi of Japan. Then it's women's doubles, and Fukushima and Hirota, winners of the India Super Series event, they're up against the Olympic silver medalists and winners of the Singapore Super Series event, Camilla Routayul and Christina Pedersen. Then we finish with men's doubles, 2 unseeded pairs, and both pairs trying to reach a first ever Super Series final in these new partnerships. We've got the reigning Olympic champion Zhang Nan playing with his new partner Liu Cheng against the former Olympic champion Hendra Setiawan with his new partner Tan Bu Hyun. So with men's singles being the first match of the day, the Super Series standings at the moment, well, of course, the big mover after his win in Jakarta, Srikanth Kidambi shot up 12 places to number 2 on that list. The other big mover was semi-finalist from Jakarta, Song Wan-ho, who went up 4 places from 9 to 5. 2 players joint 9 on that list at the moment. There's still plenty of time to qualify for those Super Series finals. Well, as far as the men's singles draw is concerned, by quarter-final stage we only had 4 different nations involved and 2 seeds, 4 Chinese players, 2 Indian players. But let me draw your attention to that third quarter of the draw, because we had the reigning world and Olympic champion Chen Long against the former world and Olympic champion Lin Dan. What a thriller it turned out to be. Chen Long came through, saving 3 match points in that deciding game in 1 hour and 18 minutes. So he'll play against Lee Hyun-il of Korea. But we're concentrating on that top half of the draw. Srikanth Kidambi against Shi Yuqi. And what a moment for this man, Srikanth Kidambi. A chance to reach a third consecutive Super Series tournament final. Shi Yuqi, the young Chinese player, an exciting Chinese youngster who reached the final of the All England Championships earlier this year. Well, only 4 players have ever reached 3 consecutive men's singles Super Series finals. So Srikanth Kidambi, a chance to make history and rewrite the record books. And sitting beside me, former head coach of the Danish team, Steen Pedersen. Steen, I mean, it would be a remarkable achievement if he was able to do it.
Yeah, that would be really fantastic for Srikanth, and what a great period Indian badminton has had here in the last couple of months.
Yes, because Srikanth Kidambi not only won last week in Indonesia, he reached the final where he lost to another Indian player in Singapore. The 24-year-old Srikanth went up 11 places on the world ranking to number 11 after his victory last week. But as you can see, he has been as high as 3 in the world ranking. And as we saw, he went up 12 places to number 2 on the Super Series standings. So he was semi-finalist last year. Can he go one better this year? Well, he's been playing well so far. Only 27 minutes for his first match, and then beat the world number 1, Soman Ho, coming from a game down. And then in that quarter-final yesterday, that was a repeat of the Singapore Super Series final, and he managed to reverse the result, this time beating his teammate Sai Pranith. So for the number 4 seed, Shi Yuqi, one of only 2 seeds left in quarter-final stage, and the only seed left in semi-finals. The 21-year-old, born in Nantong in Jiangsu province. It's his 5th week as number 4 in the world. That's his career high, and he has had a very comfortable journey so far through to this quarter-final stage, to the semi-final stage. In the quarter-final yesterday, he defeated Hans-Christian Wittinghus, who won the title last year, and he beat him, as you can see, in 2 straight games. Well, this will be only the 2nd meeting between the two as we look at our court officials for this one, from New Zealand and from Hong Kong, and the court officials at all these Super Series events come from all over the world to ensure neutrality for each of these matches. So, 2nd meeting between the 2 players. The first meeting was in the quarter-final of the Singapore Super Series event, and obviously with Srikanth Kidambi going through to the final, he obviously won that quarter-final encounter, and that was 36 minutes only in Singapore for that 21-14, 21-16 victory. Well, as I say, a chance for Srikanth Kidambi to make history, because only Sonidui Kunchoro, Lee Chong-wei, Chen Long and Lin Dan are the only 4 men's singles players who have ever contested 3 consecutive Super Series tournament finals. If Srikanth wins today, his name will be added to that list.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Kidambi Srikanth, India. And on my left, Shi Yuqi, China. Shi Yuqi to serve, level, play.
So the first of our semi-finals gets underway. Oh, that's a delightful ball from Srikanth Kidambi. A man who struggled with injury at the beginning of the year, 4-month layoff due to a stress fracture in his right ankle. Nice, that's nice. And Steen, I was watching online an interview just prior to the quarterfinals when he was going to play against teammate Sai Pranith, and Pulela Gopichan, the head coach for the Indian team, was also interviewed. And what was interesting was Srikanth was talking about the fact he didn't want to rush back from the injury. He wanted to take the time to get fully fit. And it really does seem to be paying dividends now.
Yeah, that's a very good way of doing it. I mean, basically it's the only way of doing it, because it takes time, and you only risk aggravating an injury, or it reoccurs, or you get injured somewhere else because you are sort of protecting that area where you have your injury, whether it's ankle, knee, or yeah, shoulder. It's a bit difficult to protect. In other ways, you can't shift your hand there, but it is important, and I feel that these choices become more and more important for players as there's more and more tournaments and other opportunities to earn a living in badminton, and the sponsors demands more and more of you as well. So it's important with the choices.
Oh, that's a nice drop shot from Shi Yuqi.
Service over. 2-3.
As you mentioned, Jill, the only meeting between these two players was in Singapore, and it's just a completely different circumstances here in Sydney. It's very good playing conditions. There's almost no drift, and I feel that the players here in the beginning of the match is a little bit feeling each other's teeth. Seems a little bit nervous as well on the front court, a little hesitative, both of the players.
Oh, that was going wide. That's certainly gone long. Well, I have to say, I think that Srikanth has done remarkably well, having battled through to the title last week in Jakarta. It's very difficult with the long journey. It's a 7-8 hour flight, and that's if you can get a direct flight, and most of us couldn't get a direct flight. And for him to arrive here and immediately have to start playing again, and there's an awful lot of players who did well last week who've lost early this week.
Yeah, it's very important with the planning when you have to travel that long distance in between two tournaments, and even more difficult for Srikanth as he was winning the tournament. And of course, the finals were late Sunday, and there was some press obligations afterwards as well. But he told I was sitting next to him at a lunch restaurant on Tuesday, and he told me that he'd arrived Monday night after the Indonesia Open. He went to Kuala Lumpur directly and had a night's rest there, and then a direct flight from Kuala Lumpur to Sydney here. So I think a good way to do it, instead of other players that have traveled overnight, sitting in uncomfortable positions on air carriers.
Yeah, he's done well. Oh, look at that defense. Oh, what a super winning smash from Shi Yuqi.
Change.
Look at this angle. That's super. Just rolled that racket head at the last moment. Changed the direction. Look at this. Oh, that's lovely. Looks as if he's going to play straight down the line, and then changes it at the last moment. There's a challenge here from Shi Yuqi.
I thought that was on the line.
Shi Yuqi challenges. Called in.
Almost directly over that line.
Let's see what Hawkeye's saying.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Steen, and with the line judge.
Challenge and successful. Service over. 7-5. Play.
apologises for his good fortune. That block from
8,
Srikanth Kidambi
5.
hit the top of the tape and just trickled over. Oh, crikey, you can't do anything about that, can you? It's going wide.
Service over. 6, 8.
Well, both these two players are trying to reach a third final of the year. Shi Yuqi not only beaten finalist at the All England, but also reached the final of the Swiss Grand Prix Gold, where he lost out to Lindan.
Service over.
Srikanth, of course, the
9,
last two Super Series
6.
tournaments. That's quick going forward. Good rally. Oh, brilliant. Just inside the back line. And Srikanth Kidambi played a backhand smash at the start
7,
of that rally.
9.
And then deep in his forehand corner, after getting out of trouble, did a full pirouette. Cost him time. I think the nerves have settled, Steen, because now Srikanth is playing the net very well indeed.
10, 7.
Oh, super. And a 4-point advantage at the mid-game
11,
interval for Srikanth Kidambi. What an excellent start by the Indian player.
Like surprise, you look surprised. Depannya suruh
1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
no computer, no computer.
Mulyo Handoyo and Riawan, the two coaches, both from Indonesia, but coaching now the Indian players.
11-7. Play. Service over. 8, 11.
Well, Handoyo seemed to be saying something, if I'm interpreting correctly from the gestures, something to Srikanth about the little hold to the net, as indeed he just did there on the return of serve.
And perhaps this little deception on it as well.
8.
Oh, body smash. One in return. Yeah.
Service over.
It's intriguing.
9, 12.
I thought in the first half of the game, once he settled, Srikanth was winning the battle at the net. Good to see Shi Yuqi beginning to take him on in that front court area.
Yeah, we saw the match yesterday against Hans-Christian Wittinghus that after the first coaching interval where Shi Yuqi was behind 6-11, he thought of to go with the
over.
match.
13-9.
See if they can make the same tactical changes here. Excellent.
14-9.
He just seems so comfortable on the front court, Srikanth.
To be honest, he looks comfortable everywhere. He seems to be oozing confidence.
Yeah.
There's that little stop again that
Yes.
Coach was talking about,
Yes.
and again. He's playing it with disguise. He's looking as if he's going to lift, and then just playing it back to the net, and he's playing it to perfection.
And I mean, I said it was totally playing different playing conditions. There is a little drift here. It's just not as distinct as in Singapore. And Srikanth is playing with the drift right now.
(16-9).
Oh.
First service error of the match.
Service over. 10-16.
As we saw on the road to graphics, there's no doubt that Srikanth has had a tougher road to this semi-final than Shi Yuqi, but as we mentioned, he's done the travel a bit later than the Chinese player, perhaps, so should bode for a close match. And actually, I checked, as we talked about the distress of travel, so I checked whether there'd been any back-to-back winners in these two Super Series tournaments, Indonesia Open and Australia Open, and the only other back-to-back winner was Lee Yong-dae and Yo Young-sung
In the men's doubles. Yeah. And that was 2014 and 2015.
10.
Oh, which year was it?
No, it was actually winning both Indonesia and Australia Open.
Which year was it?
I think it was 2014.
2014, yeah. Well, this has just been a fabulous
19,
start by
10.
Srikanth Kidambi.
Yes, it was 2014.
Yeah.
Game point.
So game point
10.
opportunities. Yeah, only needed the one.
Game.
On a run of 5 straight points to close it out the opening game
21-10.
in just 15 minutes. 21-10. And Srikanth Kidambi just one game away from a third consecutive Super Series tournament final.
Like on fish, don't give time. It's good. Yeah, more ready. I start more ready. Like
because the wind is sea, because you must more ready.
1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Well, interesting that Charles Ranjit using all of his allotted time to coach his man, Shi Yuqi.
Second game, level, play.
Going wide, yep, well left. So, Steve, what's Shi Yuqi got to do to turn this match around?
It's going to be difficult, I think. He's definitely got to attack a bit more. He's got to win the game on the front court, and it's going to be difficult because he can't really push his flat lift to the back court that much. And I feel that Srikanth has the upper hand in the net game, so to me it looks quite difficult for Shi Yuqi. So maybe another way could be to try and play a little bit more patient style and see if he could wear out Srikanth. But that means that he's got to play a really, really good defense, and yeah, that leaves the attack to Srikanth, and he's probably the best attacking player in the world right now. In many ways, you could say that these three tournaments have sort of is a beginning of fulfilling the potential that he showed a number of years ago when he won the China Open. Was that in 14?
2014,
yeah.
Lin Dan in the final.
He
showed enormous potential and sort of looked like the at least one of the threats to the three greats, Chen Long, Lin Dan, and Lee Chong-wei, and then he sort of faded away, which in many ways were natural, and it's so good to see him back here now, because we need competition in the top of world badminton.
There's off balance, Shi Yuqi. Yeah, he had a broken racket, that didn't help.
It was interesting listening to the coaching of Mulya Handoyo and Haryawan. Mulya said, don't give him time, which is of course a very, very good plan, because then it's hard to control the shots. And then Haryawan said, be much more ready. It's like he's sort of taking it easy in the first game. How can he be much more ready?
Yeah, I know, he looked very sharp.
But the meaning is that the shuttle will reach Srikanth's side a bit quicker than on the other side, because there is this little drift alongside the court from Shi Yuqi to Srikanth now.
And it's maybe that the two Indian coaches were also wary, having watched Shi Yuqi beat Hans Christian Wittinghus yesterday, in that after the coaching break, he suddenly was almost a different player.
Yeah.
So be ready. He could come out faster. He could do something different.
Yeah.
Change the shuttle.
It's looking very healthy, the Indian men's singles department right now, because I mean, in Indonesia it was only the semi-final and final where we really had our eyes on Srikanth. At least my eyes were on HS Pranoy throughout the tournament, who made some great results, beating Lee Chong-wei and Chen Long. So we have at least three very, very competitive players in the top of Indian badminton right now.
Good rally.
Well played.
That is sensational, my goodness me. Well, he let the shuttle drop quite low. I thought he was going to lift it. Shi Yuqi playing the perfect cross-court net shot. Look at that. And I believe that's the longest rally of the match so far. Look at that, that's just delightful.
There were some signs in that rally of how Shi Yuqi could go about doing this. There was the battle for the control on the net or the front court, and he had to lift once, but the lift was very good and didn't really leave much chance of an angle for Srikanth. It's the angled attack that's so dangerous from him. Good shot.
That's what the coach was talking about. Yeah.
Service over.
Implementing those tactics well.
Hold.
Great matchup. Great matchup.
6-5.
Falls down so close to the net.
Service over. 6-all.
Oh, it's quick onto that backhand. And the backhand smash from Kidambi. Well, the coach is saying be ready and be alert. He's certainly responding to that advice.
Yeah, and again, the trademarks of an attacking player, he also attacks in the backhand, and not many players would have played that as sharp as he did. He would have played a more patient shot, most of the players in top 10.
All.
There's an example of why you believe he's the best attacking player in the world at the moment.
Service over. 8-7.
Having been at the net, his movement back in court, look at that.
And he lands in perfect balance and is on its way forward with the first step. You see a lot of players, they need an extra step to regain balance, and then they move forward, and then they're not able to follow up on it properly. Good deception again.
Yeah.
And we talked about it last week when we saw HS Pranoy, that there were some glimpses of technical skills that we've seen one of the former greats, former Olympic champion Taufik Hidayat do. These little deceptions at the net, and of course there's a link because Mulyo Handoya, the Indian coach, used to be the coach of Taufik Hidayat.
Yeah. So a very positive influence. Good defence there. Looks to me, Steen, as if Shi Yuqi is running out of ideas. His body language after that rally, and it was almost a half-hearted attempt at a net shot there.
Yeah, it looked fine until 6-all, but now he's pulled away again. Srikanth exactly like in the first game. And it doesn't seem that Shi Yuqi has the means to stop him.
Oh yes, it's well played.
Service over. 8-10.
He's definitely commanding the front of the court, Srikanth Kidambi.
Interval.
And a 3-point advantage here in the second game, having already won the first.
Walk out again.
Yeah.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
Don't know if you managed to hear any of that, Steen, but from his gestures, there was something about a forehand cross-court.
Yeah, I couldn't really hear what they were saying. But right now, I feel the most dangerous thing for Srikanth is that he gets a little bit too content with the way he's playing. I mean, so far it looks like he's going to win this match, but it's just a 3-point lead, so he's got to maintain his level.
Oh, delightful backhand.
Wow.
Brilliant.
And it really, really bites on Shi Yuqi, those small deceptions at
12,
the net.
8.
He's got to force himself to believe that it's going to be a net shot, because there aren't that many lifts.
Hey.
Having trouble getting the shot.
That sums up his day, really.
Shuttle back, yeah. 3 attempts before he gets it back to Srikanth.
Well, there's signs that Shi Yuqi is trying to be a little more aggressive and command the rallies a little better. But it still looks to me as if he doesn't really believe.
He doesn't believe he's got the weapons to beat Srikanth. I don't think so.
No.
He's lost 3 points after the interval.
It's going wide. That'll be a 4th point since the mid-game interval.
15, 8.
Oh yes, that's nice.
Floor assistant. Wipe the court. Thank you.
Yes, after the dive. Court attendant needs to come on and mop up the perspiration that's been left on the court surface.
Thank you. Service over. 9-15.
Oh, my word. Yes.
10-15. Change the shot.
Well played. Shi Yuqi.
Change the show.
Oh, he's playing with the intensity
11.
that
15.
shouts, this is my last chance, I have to make a move right now.
Yeah, and eventually he wins the battle here in this rally on the front court and gets Srikanth to lift. And that's really, really important.
Play.
Well judged from Srikanth, calmly took his racket out of the way of the shuttle
16.
and allowed the shuttle
11.
to drop long of that back line.
That's a really good lift because it prevents Shi Yuqi from getting an angle on his smash, and of course it goes long, but even if it had just been inside the court, it's much more easy to defend a flat smash
11.
than a steep smash.
He's in total control, Srikanth.
He comes forward on a
11.
drop shot here. It's a drop shot. It's more like an in-between shot, and then suddenly he's there with the flat shot that that Shi Yuqi plays back at him and punishes him, and that's really great.
That's a good lift.
Yeah.
Service over.
Well, it really is last
12,
chance saloon for this
18.
man. That's amazing from that close to the nets. That lift that I reckon would have landed on the back line. Tighter the net shot is to that net, the more difficult it is to get a deep lift. Oh, delightful. No, second time he's played that as a winner
18.
this match.
Yeah, just guiding it across the net. Oi!
Oh, my goodness me. Oh, I don't like that.
Oh, he hurt his arm,
Oh, no.
but not too bad, I think.
Shrek, you okay? Floor assistant, wipe the court.
What happened, Steen? Did his
He
foot
slipped,
just...
he slipped.
Oh, goodness me.
Of course, every time you hit, every time you're in that corner,
Thank you.
making a smash and so on, small drops of perspiration falls from your especially
over.
your head, and
19,
eventually it gets a little bit more
13.
slippery in those corners there.
Yeah, well, it looked to me as if he almost did the splits as he back leg, his left leg slipped away from him. No, and what a response after that. What a response.
And again, the steep smash, without that much power, the steep smash gives him opportunities for killing it at the net, and he follows up beautifully there. Also a very good touch, slicing it a little bit to prevent it from going long.
Yeah, very clever, very quick. A very, very impressive performance. And now 7 match point opportunities to reach his 3rd consecutive
match point,
Super Series
13.
tournament final. Oh, that's a good clear. That's brilliant.
Service over.
Srikanth was on the
14.
off to the net to shake hands. This time, second time of asking. And Srikanth Kidambi adds his name to a few elite, becomes the 5th man in history at Super Series tournaments to reach 3 consecutive men's singles
Match
finals.
won by Kidambi Srikanth,
21-10, 21-14. This the final rally and the moment of victory. The attacking play once again serving him so well. 2 straight games in 37 minutes, and Srikanth Kidambi, winner last week in Jakarta, is through to the final here at the Australian Open. 21-10, 21-14.
The stunning coast and beautiful beaches of Newcastle lie just a couple of hours north of Sydney in the heart of the Hunter region.